interested in...
We catch up with a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Mr. Timothy Ifediora, who insists that the security in the state is not threatened in any way. He says the Ozubulu attacks shouldn't be used as a yardstick to judge the security of the state.
I don't think Anambrians should have any cause to worry. When this administration came into place, one of his key enablers in his pillars of governance was security. And he swung into action as soon as he hit the ground running. And ever since then, Anambra has been, rated as one of the safest states. And in terms of security, he's really done a lot. And so what has happened is an isolated case. And from the details we've had, it's not a crime that was organized or prepared or, arranged within the state, not even Nigeria. From all we've gathered, it's warlords that emanated from South Africa. And so Anambra shouldn't have cause to worry as in terms of security. His Excellency is still in charge, and things are still not out of hand or not too bad. But everyone should be concerned that, such a thing will happen, without anybody knowing beforehand that, it's about to happen. Of course, we are all humans. The police, the security agents are not witches. And even if they are, there are some certain times that those things fail. And so it is very bad, but I want to assure Anambrians from the feelers we've had and gotten both from the security agency and the chief security officer of this state, the governor, that there should be no cause for worry.
In one of its numerous protests, members of IPOD, led by Nnamdi Kanu, had threatened not to allow the governorship election in Anambra hold come November. But Mr. Ifediora warned against the dangers of such statements.
Again, it's something that people are worried about. But I think those calling for a boycott of that election don't really mean well for Anambrians. That's one key thing everybody should understand. Because in the event of there is no election in Anambra State come November 18, and then going forward to the handover date, and there is no election, then what happens is that a state of emergency will be declared on Anambra State, letting our people know the danger and what, the aftermath of that, what it portends for the state. It will not take us nowhere. We're going to be grounded, because what will eventually happen is that when a state of emergency is declared on a state, then the president will send, anybody, maybe a retired military general, to come over here, and become the sole administrator. Every other apparatus of the government will be shut down. This project called Nigeria, and in the project of restructuring, as a people, there's no gainsaying that we have been marginalized. There's no gainsaying that the East have been, shortchanged in the, in the governance of this nation. And so we want, a change from that. But we cannot achieve that change the way, by way of boycotting the election, disrupting democratic, elected government and all of that. That won't work, and that is not going to take us to anywhere.
In fact, if anything, a school of thought has the feeling that it could have had a political undertone over and above whatever may have caused it in the first place. Over and above what must have been a remote cause. Some people are reading political meanings into it, because, come to think about it, some Nigerians can play politics with anything. Anambra is just part of Nigeria. Nigeria has a constitution. Nigeria has institutions charged with specific duties. Nigeria has independent National Electoral Commission that is charged with the conduct of elections. And an election has been slated already with a date and preparations in top gear towards achieving that. And how can anybody say that election should not hold? Is Anambra State no longer part of Nigeria? If there is any issue that anybody wants to talk about, there are avenues. The courts are there. The tribunals are there after elections in case you want to challenge the electoral victory or otherwise of anybody. But to say there should be no election will look like saying that there will be no census. If the National Census Board, for instance, decide to have a census in this country, it's like asking a state not to take part in that census with all its negative attendant consequences. And it is a challenge to the federal government.
In the states,
Professor Ike Odimegu of the University of Nsukka has a different perspective to the recent security issue in the state.
Considering the elections, the gubernatorial election that is drawing near, this incident at Ozubulu again raises more worries than one. If people cannot be safe in the state, in the church, at worship, and that is just a few months to the gubernatorial election, it sends some shock waves, and we do not need to emphasize that the government should step up its acts in securing lives and property in the state. We have had our political leaders decrying the dastardly act, but I think it is also important to observe that the police that is supposed to secure the people of Nigeria is amassed by the political leaders themselves. And so you see one political leader being secured by 5, 10, 20 policemen and women. And then you have a gathering of over 1,000 of Nigerian citizens, and there is no provision of security for this large gathering. Than from the fact of being human and from the fact of being a citizen of this country. Clearly, as the election draws near, this sad development renews the call on the government to know that its primary responsibility is to secure the lives of the citizens, and that the lives of the citizens should not be classified or categorized and then valued based on titles and offices, but basically on the fact of being human and being a citizen of this country. If this is not done, if such dastardly acts can take place so easily, and up till now we have more of conspiracy theories than any evidence-based prognostication of who are responsible for this and what has been done to bring them to book, then the confidence of the citizenry in the process and the capacity of the government to protect them as they go to fulfill their civic responsibilities of electing the next governor of this state will be badly shaken.